They took several examples of very successful shows and say, oh, you got to take the stories, you got to talk about this and don't talk about that, and you have to aim for the kids from that age, and then blah, 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 all your show will be successful. Okay. And then there is an artist in the crowd who asked them, well, and what about Miraculous? Why is it so successful? And then the guy was like, we don't know. They did everything wrong, but it works. Well, I don't know if there's a recipe for success as this organization thinks. The only thing I can tell you about it is what guided us in the team to create the show. That's the only thing I can really do. So, I don't know if it can be reproduced or anything, but maybe it will give you some ideas, and hopefully it will help you create stuff and reach your audience. So, first, I won't talk to you about the technique, 2D, 3D, the software, and all that stuff, because I am very convinced that it doesn't matter. Back in the days, 30 years ago when I started in animation, we were all using the same techniques all around the world. In America, in Japan, in France, we were doing animation the same way. Drawing stuff, and then printing it on cells, and then shooting it on the camera. It was the same technique for all of us. And it didn't prevent us to create masterpieces all around the world. So I think the technique doesn't matter. The technique is something that comes afterwards. So you choose it because you think it fits your project, but you don't choose the technique first and then create a project for the technique. It doesn't work that way, I think. So I won't talk about technique. It doesn't matter, I think. I won't talk about skills or talent, because it's not that. Of course, skill and talent matters, but it's just the consequence of hard work, and that's all. So I'm sure we can find here a lot of people with a lot of skills, because they are hard-working people and they are very dedicated to what they want to do. So I won't talk about that. I think we are all at the same page here. We love animation. We all love making stories, and we are ready to do anything for this. So I don't think it really matters. It doesn't make a difference. I'm sure you are all as passionate about animation as me, so I don't think it makes a difference. So I I think maybe one of the things that can make a difference is managing to connect with what you deeply want to tell when you tell a story. Of course, you can reproduce things that you love, but it's not the same as connecting with your inner self, what you deeply believe in, and try to make this happen as a story. And I think that's really the most important thing. Knowing, finding something you deeply want to tell. That's something that can really make a difference. And so the third thing is that for me, doing this job, getting into animation, I didn't make it for money or for fame or anything. I made it because I love it. And even if before Miraculous I wasn't a successful artist, it doesn't matter. My life didn't change because of that. Just, I'm happy with my life because when I'm doing my stuff, even if, whether it's successful or not, I am having a lot of pleasure doing it. And that's all that matters to me. And I'm not doing it only for me because I enjoy what I do. I'm also doing it because I'm doing it for the people. I think it's important that when you're creating stuff, it's not just creating stuff for yourself. It's also creating stuff for people. There is a lot of stories I'd like to tell, but I won't bother people with it. Because that's my stuff, and okay, I'm okay. I'm doing little drawings at my desk, and it's just for me, and that's all. I don't see the point of bothering people with it. But when I want to reach people, I try to think of stories that will matter to people. Because if it matters to people, then it will matter to me. And this is the way I think this is a good starting point to create something. I really want to, I enjoy the idea of spending a lot of time at my desk, writing stuff, drawing stuff, and hoping that in the end, I will be able to communicate this joy I have doing this stuff and share it with other people. And then maybe, it's like creating a light bulb, like in cartoons, creating a light bulb inside the heads of people. It's like, bing! Oh, finally! I didn't see it that way. Oh, that's interesting. And then we have people, maybe this little light bulb that bring light into people's head, maybe it will make you feel better, or maybe it will help you understand new things. And I think that's something that guides me when I work. And I think that's a good starting point. I started writing very late. I was like 35 when I started writing stuff, because everything I wrote it before, I thought it wasn't interesting enough. So I told you I didn't want to bother people with it. I'm not saying that you should wait to be 35 to write something. What I'm telling is, when you write something, you should be convinced of what you're making. If you are convinced about what you're making, if you're passionate about it, you will be able to transmit it. If you're not passionate about it, if you're not convinced that your story matters, that, oh, these are good stuff in this, you won't be able to reach people, You have to be be convinced first of your own work. So trust yourself, be convinced of what you're doing, put a lot of energy in it, and I think this also is a good starting point for making a great story. I wasn't convinced about what I was writing because I think that my views on the world weren't clear enough. You know, I think it's something really important. When you're creating a story, you are sharing with other people your views on the world. So I think what can make a difference between a good story and a really good story is that it's presenting a coherent, a very strong view of the world. That's something really important, I think. And this is not something, as I told you, this is nothing you should do for yourself, but also for the viewers, and also for the people you work with. It's important for them. It's important to be able to gather people who share the same ideas as you. The more you will be able to gather around certain ideas, the more powerful you will be, and the more powerful your story will be. Most of the people I work with share the same views as me. And the common point we have is that we are all convinced that a good story is something that will be popular and intelligent at the same time. There is no point in opposing this. You can make both, you know, but it's difficult to do. It's difficult to do because, well, making something popular is easy. You know, it's like you pick up things that are popular. You can make fun art. You know, it's very easy to get likes or views when you're doing fun art because you are representing something that is already popular. You know, it's the easy way. You know, and you will always find people who will be okay to follow you because you want to make something popular, because something popular equals, the opportunity to make money, you know? But it's more difficult to do intelligent things because it's very difficult to make intelligent things with people who just want to make money. You know, so that's why it's important to gather with the right people. People who understand this. It's not just about making something popular to get money. It's just yes, you can get money by doing something popular and intelligent at the same time. So it all comes to something very personal, you know. It all comes with a kind of ethics in the way you work, and the personal choice and the personal views you have on the world. So it means that stories you are going to create they are personal choices. So when you will confront your story, when you will show or tell your stories, pitch your stories to other people, don't listen to them.